Day 184, Exile, 2 Kings 18, 2 Chronicles 29, Psalm 140. Let's begin. 2 Kings 18. In the 3rd year of Hoshea, the son of Elah, the king of Israel, Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, reigned as king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was good before the Lord, in accord with all that his father David had done. He destroyed the high places, and he crushed the statues, and he cut down the sacred groves. And he broke apart the bronze serpent, which Moses had made. For even until that time, the sons of Israel were burning incense to it. And he called its name Nehushtan. He hoped in the Lord, the God of Israel. And after him, there was no one similar to him, among all the kings of Judah, nor even among any of those who were before him. And he clung to the Lord, and he did not withdraw from his footsteps, and he carried out his commandments, which the Lord had instructed to Moses. Therefore, the Lord was also with him. And he conducted himself wisely in all the things to which he went forth. Also, he rebelled against the king of the Assyrians, and he did not serve him. He struck the Philistines as far as Gaza, and in all their borders, from the tower of the watchman to the fortified city. In the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, the son of Elah, the king of Israel, Shalmaneser, the king of the Assyrians, ascended to Samaria, and he fought against it. And he seized it. For after 3 years, in the 6th year of Hezekiah, that is, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Israel, Samaria was captured. And the king of the Assyrians took away Israel into Assyria. And he located them in Hala and in Habor, at the rivers of Gozan, in the cities of the Medes. For they did not listen to the voice of the Lord their God. Instead, they transgressed his covenant. All that Moses, the servant of the Lord, had instructed, they would neither hear nor do. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib, the king of the Assyrians, went up to all the fortified cities of Judah, and he captured them. Then Hezekiah, the king of Judah, sent messengers to the king of the Assyrians at Lachish, saying, I have offended. Withdraw from me, and all that you will impose upon me, I will bear. And so the king of the Assyrians levied a tax upon Hezekiah, the king of Judah, of 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave all the silver that had been found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the king. At that time, Hezekiah broke apart the doors of the temple of the Lord, with the plates of gold which he had affixed to them. And he gave these to the king of the Assyrians. Then the king of the Assyrians sent Tartan, and Rabsaris, and Rabshakeh, from Lachish, to King Hezekiah, with a powerful hand, to Jerusalem. And when they had ascended, they arrived in Jerusalem, and they stood beside the aqueduct of the upper pool, which is along the way of the fuller's field. And they called for the king. But there went out to them Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, the first ruler of the house, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the keeper of records. And Rabshakeh said to them, Speak to Hezekiah, thus says the great king, the king of the Assyrians, what is this faith, in which you strive? Perhaps you have taken counsel, so that you would prepare yourself for battle. In whom do you trust, so that you would dare to rebel? Do you hope in Egypt, that staff of a broken reed, which, if a man would lean upon it, breaking, it would pierce his hand? Such is Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to all who would trust in him. But if you say to me, We have faith in the Lord our God, is it not he, whose high places and altars Hezekiah has taken away? And did he not instruct Judah and Jerusalem, You shall adore before this altar in Jerusalem? Now therefore, cross over to my lord, the king of the Assyrians, and I will give to you 2,000 horses, and we will see if you even have enough riders for them. So how can you resist one prince from the least of my lord's servants? Do you have faith in Egypt because of the chariots and horsemen? Is it not by the will of the Lord that I have chosen to ascend to this place, so that I may destroy it? The Lord said to me, Ascend to this land, and destroy it. Then Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna, and Joah said to Rabshakeh, we beseech you, that you may speak to us, your servants, in Syriac. For we understand that language to some extent. And do not speak to us in the Jews' language, in the hearing of the people, who are upon the wall. And Rabshakeh responded to them, saying, Has my Lord sent me to your Lord and to you, so that I may speak these words, and not instead to the men who are sitting upon the wall, so that they may eat their own dung, and drink their own urine with you? And so Rabshakeh stood up, and he exclaimed in a great voice, in the Jews' language, and he said, Listen to the words of the great king, the king of the Assyrians. Thus says the king, Let not Hezekiah lead you astray. For he will not be able to rescue you from my hand. And do not let him give you faith in the Lord, saying, The Lord will rescue and free us, and this city will not be delivered into the hand of the king of the Assyrians. Do not choose to listen to Hezekiah. For thus says the king of the Assyrians, Do with me what is for your own good, and come out to me. And each one of you will eat from his own vine, and from his own fig tree. And you shall drink water from your own wells. Until I arrive and transfer you into a land, similar to your own land, a fruitful and fertile land of wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olives and oil and honey. And you will live, and not die. Do not choose to listen to Hezekiah, who deceives you, saying, The Lord will free us. Have any of the gods of the nations freed their land from the hand of the king of Assyria? Where is the God of Hamath, and of Arpad? Where is the God of Sepharvaim, of Hena, and of Ava? Have they freed Samaria from my hand? Which ones among all the gods of the lands have rescued their region from my hand, so that the Lord would be able to rescue Jerusalem from my hand? But the people were silent, and they did not respond at all to him. For indeed, they had received an instruction from the king that they should not respond to him. And Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, the first ruler of the house, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the keeper of records, went to Hezekiah with their garments torn. And they reported to him the words of Rabshakeh. 2 Chronicles 29. And so Hezekiah began to reign when he was 25 years old. And he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Abijah, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was pleasing in the sight of the Lord, in accord with all that his father David had done. In the first year and month of his reign, he opened the double doors of the house of the Lord, and he repaired them. And he brought together the priests and Levites. And he gathered them in the wide eastern street. And he said to them, Listen to me, O Levites, and be sanctified. Cleanse the house of the Lord, the God of your fathers, and take away every uncleanness from the sanctuary. Our fathers sinned and did evil in the sight of the Lord our God, abandoning him. They turned their faces away from the tabernacle of the Lord, and they presented their backs. They closed up the doors which were in the portico, and they extinguished the lamps. And they did not burn incense, and they did not offer holocausts, in the sanctuary of the God of Israel. And so the fury of the Lord was stirred up against Judah and Jerusalem, and he handed them over to turmoil, and to destruction, and to hissing, just as you discern with your own eyes. Lo, our fathers have fallen by the sword. Our sons, and our daughters and wives have been led away as captives because of this wickedness. Now therefore, it is pleasing to me that we should enter into a covenant with the Lord, the God of Israel. And he will turn away the fury of his indignation from us. My sons, do not choose to be negligent. The Lord has chosen you so that you would stand before him, and minister to him, and worship him, and burn incense to him. Therefore, the Levites rose up, Mahath, the son of Amasai, and Joel, the son of Azariah, from the sons of Kohath. Then, from the sons of Merari, Kish, the son of Abdi, and Azariah, the son of Jehalelel. And from the sons of Gershon, Joah, the son of Zimmah, and Eden, the son of Joah. And truly, from the sons of Elizaphan, Shimri and Joel, also, from the sons of Asaph, Zechariah and Mattaniah. Indeed also, from the sons of Heman, Jehuel and Shimi, then too, from the sons of Jeduthun, Shemaiah and Uzziel. And they gathered together their brothers. And they were sanctified. And they entered in accord with the command of the king and the order of the Lord, so that they might expiate the house of God. And the priests, entering the temple of the Lord so that they might sanctify it, took every uncleanness, which they had found inside, out to the vestibule of the house of the Lord, and the Levites took it away and transported it outside, to the torrent Kidron. Now they began to cleanse on the first day of the first month. And on the 8th day of the same month, they entered the portico of the temple of the Lord. And then they expiated the temple over 8 days. And on the 16th day of the same month, they finished what they had begun. Also, they entered to King Hezekiah, and they said to him, We have sanctified the entire house of the Lord, and the altar of holocaust, and its vessels, indeed also the table of the presence, with all its vessels, and all the equipment of the temple, which King Ahaz, during his reign, had polluted after his transgression. And behold, these have all been set forth before the altar of the Lord. And rising up at first light, King Hezekiah joined as one all the leaders of the city, and they ascended to the house of the Lord. And together they offered 7 bulls and 7 rams, 7 lambs and 7 he-goats, for sin, for the kingdom, for the sanctuary, for Judah. And he spoke to the priests, the sons of Aaron, so that they would offer these upon the altar of the Lord. And so they slaughtered the bulls. And the priests took up the blood, and they poured it upon the altar. Then they also slaughtered the rams, and they poured their blood upon the altar. And they immolated the lambs, and they poured the blood upon the altar. They brought the he-goats for sin before the king and the entire multitude. And they laid their hands upon them. And the priests immolated them, and they sprinkled their blood before the altar, for the expiation of all Israel. For certainly the king had instructed that the holocaust and the sin offering should be made on behalf of all Israel. Also, he situated the Levites in the house of the Lord, with cymbals, and psalteries, and harps, according to the disposition of King David, and of the seer Gad, and of the prophet Nathan. For indeed, this was the precept of the Lord by the hand of his prophets. And the Levites stood, holding the musical instruments of David, and the priests held the trumpets. And Hezekiah ordered that they should offer holocausts upon the altar. And when the holocausts were being offered, they began to sing praises to the Lord, and to sound the trumpets, and to play various musical instruments, which David, the king of Israel, had prepared. Then the entire crowd was adoring, and the singers and those who were holding the trumpeters were exercising their office, until the holocaust was completed. And when the oblation was finished, the king, and all who were with him, bowed down and adored. And Hezekiah and the rulers instructed the Levites to praise the Lord with the words of David, and of Asaph, the seer. And they praised him with great joy, and kneeling down, they adored. And now Hezekiah also added, You have filled your hands for the Lord. Draw near, and offer victims and praises in the house of the Lord. Therefore, the entire multitude offered victims and praises and holocausts, with devout intention. Now the number of the holocausts that the multitude offered was 70 bulls, 100 rams, 200 lambs. And they sanctified to the Lord 600 oxen and 3,000 sheep. Truly, the priests were few, either were they sufficient to remove the pelts from the holocausts. Therefore, the Levites, their brothers, also assisted them, until the work was completed, and the priests, who were of higher rank, were sanctified. For indeed, the Levites are sanctified with an easier ritual than the priests. Thus, there were very numerous holocausts, with the fat of the peace offerings and the libations of the holocausts. And the service of the house of the Lord was completed. And Hezekiah and all the people were joyful because the ministry of the Lord was accomplished. For certainly it had pleased them to do this suddenly. Psalm 140. A Psalm of David. O Lord, I have cried out to you, hear me. Attend to my voice, when I cry out to you. Let my prayer be guided like incense in your sight, the lifting up of my hands, like the evening sacrifice. O Lord, station a guard over my mouth and a door enclosing my lips. Do not turn aside my heart to words of malice, to making excuses for sins, with men who work iniquity, and I will not communicate, even with the best of them. The just one will correct me with mercy, and he will rebuke me. But do not allow the oil of the sinner to fatten my head. For my prayer will still be toward their good will. Their judges have been engulfed, joined to the rocks. They will hear my words, which have prevailed. As when the lava of the earth has erupted above ground, our bones have been scattered beside hell. For Lord, O Lord, my eyes look to you. In you I have hoped. Do not take away my soul. Protect me from the snare that they have set up for me and from the scandals of those who work iniquity. The sinners will fall into his net. I am alone, until I pass over.